I'm actually doing this audio after the fact because I was stupid and forgot to turn on my microphone. So for the next, for this file plus the one next after this, I'm actually gonna be doing the overlay audio. But I just want to kind of go over what I'm actually seeing. So first off, I'm kind of showing you the gaskets that I've replaced. I've broken down the power steering pump, just kind of referencing the instructions that I have here. I've got the inner kind of holding ring for the sprocket there. Just kind of showing you what the kind of layout is right now. Showing you that in the middle there's a bunch of these little spleens here. You really have to kind of keep an eye out for these and make sure that they don't fall out. Really, you have to also get them in the right orientation. I actually forgot to put one in the right orientation and I had to actually break this open again, but you'll see that later on. I'll see me correct it. Yeah, so I'm just kind of going over the overview for that, giving you a nice close-up of what that actually looks like. And since this is a multi-make type of power steering pump, this can apply to actually a lot of different vehicles. It seems like this is pretty standard. This is that inner portion right before, or actually it sits right underneath that portion I was holding right there, and it's got a nice big O-ring that pointed out the replacement that I have in there. Showing us the nut that I actually got off. I was able to use, I think it was a 17 millimeter to get this nut off. I did have to put it in the vise and lock down the wheel to make sure that it didn't spin. And I'm kind of pointing at this is kind of the vise points that I put on both sides. And then I took this big old Phillips head, which is really nice, stick it through this bolt hole, and there's actually no threads inside there, to kind of prevent the pulley from moving, and then locked it in the vise. Took my big old breaker bar and just really give it a good crank. Actually, it might not be a 17, it might be a 19, but it is a big old breaker bar that I had to use to get this thing off. The lock washer was on there pretty tight. Yeah, I definitely try to remember the torque, how much torque I actually put on there. Yeah, I got that off. I think actually this is the first time I'm actually pulling it off. So I'm actually pulling it off on the video for you guys. So pop the pulley off, and there is the shaft plus also the inner seal inside there. I've got there's a I can't remember what they're called, U-rings or something like that, to remove that. It's kind of a locking ring in there. I have to get a set of pliers for that, but I just need to remove that. And then this is actually this entire bearing portion is actually pressed in there, so I've got to actually press this entire thing out. That seal that I'm holding right there is one that I'm going to actually be replacing. That's actually underneath that bearing there with the shaft. So I've got to pull this out and then replace that seal. I think that's actually the seal that was leaking. I could tell that the shaft had actually a lot of play in it, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what was going out. That's what was leaked and really causing me, not causing me, but causing the previous owner probably lost of power steering fluid, and it was actually probably fluid was everywhere inside that cap. But so what I'm gonna do is remove this kind of not a lock washer, but it's like a ring that I have to do, and get back to you guys and kind of do that real quick.